Okay, think quick. What is the difference between Glenn Beck and Ron Paul? Well, what if I told you nothing? At least on the internet. Because one's already a big star there, and the other's about to become one. Because the Ron Paul channel is online. And like Beck's Blaze, firing a lot of folks up. Paul says 200,000 potential subscribers have expressed interest in paying upwards of $9.95 a month for a channel the former presidential candidate says will give it to folks straight every day. He is here to tell me also about a feature that promotes itself, urging you first turn your TV off. All right, Congressman, that's where you lose me particularly.
Oh, okay.
Not a good strategy going forward. But nevertheless, because I admire you greatly, I'll let you come for this one last appearance. But I'm joking. But what's the idea behind this?
Well, the whole idea is for me to have the ability to continue to do what I've been doing for 35 years, and that's talk about issues that you've helped me talk about many times over the years, and to bring it to the attention of as many people as possible. And there are some frustrations, you know, with regular TV. I don't have a job on regular TV. I don't want to live in New York or Washington or L.A., but I can do this from my hometown. I can talk to people, but it takes a big staff. It takes a lot of help. It's much more complicated than I ever dreamed. And so it's really worked very well for me, although we're at the beginning of stages. Matter of fact, just within the hours, our release that the program is now available. So it is, you have timed it very well. And although we go after TV, I will always turn to Cavuto when I want to hear the real business.
There you go. I tell you, young man, you dare go after us, and then it's war. But having said that, I'm curious, would this be then more like a Libertarian channel, Congressman? How would you describe it?
Well, it's going to not promote the ideas I disagree with, and most people have a pretty good sense of what I believe in. You know, the foreign policy has been different than traditional, the monetary policy, you know, as well, and economics. I believe in Austrian free market economics. So, no, those are the views I'm going to express. But it's also going to be trying to get people, not only the ones that might agree with me, but, you know, like our first guest was Glenn Greenwald, you know, to talk about Edward Snowden.
Sure.
And I'm sure they're sympathetic to libertarian views, but I don't think, you know, they necessarily are going to be libertarians, but if they are interested in talking about the things and trying to reveal the truth, I would just like to get to the bottom of things, and it gives me a little bit of extra time to do this. The one thing nice about the internet is that I don't have to deal with advertisers, and I don't have to deal with a clock. So you guys get to be experts. You know how to cut me off when you need to and go on to the next one. And if I get long-winded and my 30 minutes is up, I can go 40 minutes because I think even though we estimated we'd have 30-minute or so shows, I think the first one today is about 45 minutes.
Really? So is that just you, Congressman? Just you? 45 minutes?
Oh, no, you have to take a look at it.
Good marketing. Very good.
45 minutes, they'd get tired of me. So that's why I have guests. And, I think the people who are working with me have done it very professionally. There'll be a lot of visuals and things like that to make it as interesting as possible.
How will this help or hurt your son, Senator Rand Paul, who is rumored to be eyeing a run for the presidency in 2016?
Well, I sure hope it doesn't hurt him, but, you never know what it might do. I can't believe that it will hurt him, and hopefully it helps him to some degrees because the views will be very similar. And that's what we're going to be talking about.
What did you think, then, of his dust-up with the New Jersey Governor Christie? Much ado about nothing, and you offered the governor an olive branch. The governor more or less slapped it right back at him. What did you think? Yeah,
I don't like the bickering back and forth. I think it was a significant debate. One person blasting those of us who believe in liberty and saying that you shouldn't be that, critical of the government. That is significant, but still, again, two politicians going at it. I'd much rather talk about why we should have a Fed or why we shouldn't have a Fed.
But it sounds like you're not a Christie fan.
That would be safe to say.
So yes, if he were the Republican nominee in 2016, we're way ahead of ourselves, if you'll forgive me, Congressman. But if he were, would you not support him?
Oh, no. I at this moment, he's not going to have a change of heart. He's a big government person, so it would be similar to the last go around. I couldn't endorse our candidate.
Yeah,
but I want to change things. I don't think we're doing well.
Yeah, you said that both parties are sort of glommed into one another here, and I was wondering, there is this sort of philosophical battle going on within the Republican Party. To your point on the Christie Rand Paul dust up over how far you go surveilling people, but having said that, is it a dangerous debate within the Republican Party, one that they should have in the Republican Party? What do you think?
Well, I think it's a very important debate. It's dangerous not to face up to it, but I think it's much broader than that. I think it's big government versus limited government, and that involves the split in the Republican Party and in the Democratic Party, because the Democrats want to have some restraint on foreign intervention and some of this surveillance.
Yeah.
So I think it's a much bigger thing. In economics, Nixon once said we're all Keynesians. Well, I'd like to change that around. And he was right. Republicans and Democrats became Keynesians. That, of course, is why I don't like the picks that we have for the chairman of the Federal Reserve. I don't think we should have a Federal Reserve or a chairman.
Yeah, well, you just read my mind, Congressman. But for now, we do have a Federal Reserve. And for now, we do have presumably two Keynesians, or those who are big believers in government stimulus in the running for the job, Larry Summers and Janet Yellen. Do you like one more than the other? You think they're both going to continue Ben Bernanke policy of propping things up on steroids? What?
No, it won't make any difference, because they both believe that the Fed is there for the lender of last resort for banks and corporations that overextend themselves. They believe in the regulation. One put more emphasis on regulations versus monetary policy, but they definitely endorse the idea that they monetize debt. If they didn't, interest rates would soar to the sky. So long term, it makes no difference between the two. The debate should be, do we need a Federal Reserve Board chairman, or do we even need a Federal Reserve system? Wow. Possibly, if they would study that, they would come to the conclusion that they have been much more harmful than helpful and have caused a lot of damage to our country.
Congressman, I don't care where people are on the political spectrum. You challenge debate. You make people think of things they should be thinking about. So I wish you much luck. Not too much luck, but much luck. Congressman, very good having you. Happy kickoff day.
Thanks, Neil.